Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel Top SST. I'm back with the chapter Outcomes of Democracy, and we will be doing the quick revision which will definitely help you for the board exam which is going to held day after tomorrow. So let's start. So as I told you yesterday also, quick revision means I'm not going to teach you all the topics again. We are going to quickly revise what all things you need to remember in this chapter. So the first thing you need to remember that why democracy is the better form of the government. The question can come in any form, why democracy is the better form of the government, or they can ask you why dictatorship is not good compared to the democracy. So these 5 points you need to remember. It promotes the equality among citizens, enhances the dignity of an individual, it improves the quality of decision making, provides a method to resolve conflicts and allow the room for the correction. Okay, so these are the 5 points which you need to remember why democracy is the better form of the government or why dictatorship is not a better form of the government. Next one, democracy produce accountable. So if you remember, your next topic is how democracy is accountable, responsible, and legitimate government. So we will be looking into each one topic separately because the question can come for 3 marks and you should have at least 3 points to write. So the first one is why democracy is an accountable form of the government. Accountable का मतलब क्या होता है? Everything when we account for it. Okay, so we so in the same way, democracy is also an accountable form because why they are answerable to the people. Okay, they are answerable to the people because we are the one who elect them. So accountable government is nothing but which is answerable or which is required to justify its action or decision. And democratic government is answerable to the people or to the parliament because we are the one who elect them. Conduct discussion and negotiation, ensuring transparency, holding regular, free and fair election, having open public debates. Okay, so these are the important features of democracy which gives them a tag of it is an accountable form of the government. Democracy is being responsive. What are the reasons why we say that democracy is a responsive form of the government? Democracy gives its citizen the right to information about the government and its functioning. Democracy also provides a responsive government as it formed by elected representative of the people. These representatives discuss the problems of the society and make policies and programs accordingly. So if you remember the definition of political party, what is political party? It is a group of people who contest election and make some programs and policies for the people. So we are the one who are going to elect these political parties. So the leaders are called as a elected representative. Why it is called as a elected representative? Because we are the one who are going to elect them, and these elective representative, what they does, they discuss the problems which are being in society, and to overcome these problem or to overcome these challenges, they make policies and programs accordingly. Democracy provides a responsive government as it is formed by elected representative of the people. Okay, this I have discussed right now. Then these representatives discuss the problems of the society and make policies and programs accordingly. The representatives also ensure that these programs are implemented. It should not be only on the paper. Okay, these representatives, they make sure that when they are making the programs and policies, those programs and policies should also implement for the public welfare. Why democracy is called as legitimate government. Okay, these all can come separately for 3 marks or all together can also come for 5 marks. Democracy follows a constitution, so they are legitimate. The laws of the country are applicable to everyone, even to the government members. Free and fair elections are held in democracies, and the people have the power to eliminate parties are not happy with the next election. Okay, so when we talk about the democracies, it is very important that we should be knowing about why it is called as a legitimate government. It is called as a legitimate government because the laws of the country is not applicable only for one section of the society. It is applicable to everyone, even to the government members. And elections are definitely held, and they make sure that that they make sure that all the programs and policies should be elected properly. If it is not elected, then definitely people are going to eliminate them in the next election. Economic outcomes of democracy. What are the economic outcomes of democracy? When we talk about economic outcomes, we are talking about the economically, like, when economic comes, it is all about poverty, inequality, money related things. So economic outcomes of democracy, the following points should show the relationship of democracy with the economic growth and economic inequality. So dictator regime, we know that it is like, always when it comes to the economic outcomes, children, you need to understand that democracy has failed to reduce the inequality and the poverty in the society, whereas dictatorship has slightly has a better record of economic growth. So they can ask you the question, tricky question, that democracy, do you agree with the statement that democracy is better than dictatorship in reducing the economic growth or inequality? So answer is no. Okay, because dictatorship has shown slightly a better record of economic growth when we compare these record with the poor countries. So there can be a high degree of inequality within democracies. There is an often inequality of opportunities available to the poorer section of the society. Okay, so always remember, when it comes to the economic outcomes, democracy has failed to reduce the inequality and failed to reduce the poverty. Next one, condition under which democracy accommodates social diversity. Again, very important question for 3 marks. Democracy have a responsibility of creating a society that is safe and harmonious for its citizens. Differences among ethnic population should be sorted out. Okay, in democracy, it is very important that they need to reduce the tension, which is the, like, social diversity. As we know that, take an example of India. India is a diverse country, so all the social groups needs to be accommodated. All the social, different social community needs to be accommodated. So a society without conflict is only possible when we are going to make sure that all this social diverse community needs to be, like, they need to be make sure that they are being accommodated. Difference of opinion is bound to raise, and it is a responsibility of government to settle it. Okay, if the government has failed to settle, definitely the country will, we have seen the example of Sri Lanka. Okay, country can lead to the civil war also. So democracy also ensure, or they should ensure, that different person or the group are elected and form a government. A majority community in terms of religion or race or linguistic group should not come to the power. Okay, it is very important that they need to accommodate minorities also. It should not be always the majority who needs to be in the power. Citizens should have a chance of being in majority. No one should be barred on the basis of birth from being in the majority. For them, democratic rule chases to the accommodative for the person or the group. So as I told you that it is a democratic government's responsibility, or it is a democracies should ensure that each and every member in the society needs to be accommodative. Majority has to work hard hand in hand with the minority so that the government is represented by all the sections of the people. Democracy also ensures transparency. Very important question. When we talk about transparency, what do you understand by transparency? It means that everything needs to be, like, told to the people. So why it is so? Because we are the one who are electing. So democracy also ensure that the decision making will be based on the norms and procedure. Okay, ऐसा नहीं होना चाहिए कि मुझे आज ये वाला law implement करना है, तो मेरा like, my political party is in a rule, so I can just go with those norms and procedure. No, whenever we talk about the decision making, whenever we talk about the law making, it has to pass through with the norms and the procedure. So the procedure is, it goes into the discussion, debate, parliament discussion, then majority of the people should be agree to take that, then only they can make the law. Democracy guarantees to the citizen that the right and the means to examine the process of decision making. In democracy, people have the right to choose their rulers. Okay, it is we who are going to choose, and people are having a control. Indirectly, people only control if they are not happy with the political party. They make sure that in the next election they will not vote for them. So whenever possible and necessary, citizens should be able to participate in the decision making. It is very important. So that's the reason we call it as an accountable form of the government. A democratic government develops mechanism for the citizen regular, free and fair election, open the public debate on the major policies and legislation, and the citizen right to information. Okay, so citizens are having all the right to be informed what are, like, what is the government is doing, what are the policies, programs, law making. Everything needs to be justified with the public. Democracy, next one. Democracy is seen good in principle, but felt to be so good, not so good in practice. Justify the statement. Again, one of the very important questions. So what they are saying, that understand the question. Democracy is seen to be good in principle. When we talk about the principle, it is very good. But when it comes to the practice, it is not very good. So do you agree with the statement? Yes, sometimes, yes, it happens. Justify the statement. So if you are saying yes, so answer is, if we look at some of the democratic policies being implemented in more than 100 countries of the world, democracy seems to be good. Okay, because a democracy ensures having a formal constitution. All the democratic country, okay, will have the formal constitution. They will definitely hold the election. Regular election will be there. They will guarantee the citizens some of the rights. For example, we have fundamental rights which has been given to us, working for the people's welfare. That's the reason there are a lot of policies and programs which has been done for the public. These make us advocate that the democracy is good. Okay, so when I talk democracy is good, these are the reasons why I tell democracy is good. But at the same time, if I look at into the social situation, just now I have told you that when we look into the social disparities or economic disparities, somewhere democracy is not able to manage. Okay, that's the reason the ultra rich section of the society enjoys their lifestyle. Okay, whereas poor, they don't. They are the one who are not able to enjoy. So, but if we look at in the terms of social situation, their economic achievements and varied culture, we find a big difference in most of the democracies. The economic disparities, social injustice based on discrimination, standard of living, sex discrimination, etc., create many doubts about the merits of the democracy. Merits of democracy, we have learned it accommodates. Okay, then equality. Then we have talked about correct the room, allows the rooms for the correction. So these all are the merits. Even we have seen that it is all the democratic country is having a formal constitution, regular election. Okay, happens, guarantees the rights, but at the same time, somewhere democracy is not able to meet the expectation in reducing the economic disparities. So democracy is form of the government. We need to understand it is a form of the government. It can only create the condition of achieving the goal, but we cannot always, like, put a blame on the government, because it is all shortcomings. Next, which values will be at a fair expectation that democracy should produce a harmonious social life? So no society can fully or permanently resolve the conflicts among the different groups. I think you will agree with this statement that it is not easy to resolve. Like, if one group is happy, definitely the next group will not be happy. So sometimes it happens that it is way impossible that permanently all the problems will be resolved. When one community will happy, so definitely the other community will feel that no, their demands has not been fulfilled. But we can certainly learn to respect these differences and involve a mechanism to negotiate the differences. For example, in Belgium, how they have accommodated each and everything, but at the same time, Sri Lanka was not able to do, because they went with the majoritism. So harmonious life, social values, how they can create. A majority needs to work with the minority, very important. Rule by the majority does not become a rule by majority community in terms of religion or race or linguistic groups. Democracy also remains democracy as long as each and every citizen has a chance of being in majority at some point of time. No individual should be it's like, they should not be exempted by participating in democracy based on religion, caste, community, creed, because each and every person can participate in democratic, in a participation in debates and discussion when it comes to the rules and regulation. Okay, so it's very important that they need to go with it. So this is all about the quick revision, and I'll be back with political parties after some time. Keep watching my channel. Thank you very much.